Alright, good day, hi, and welcome. Okay, I want to wrap this series up fairly soon. What is this? Wash it. Look, you can't even see out there. You can see that. What is going on with this camera? I don't know, guys. Pray for my GoPro 5. I still got the GoPro 7, but I'm telling you guys, like, my equipment, man, it takes a beating. It takes a beating. Well, you know, I got my money's worth out of stuff. I'll just say that. You know, like, I mean, when it's done, it's done. Like, I mean, you cannot revive it. Like, it's like, no, you burnt that right to the end. Yeah. It's like, when I go to a buffet, I make sure my plate is clean when I put it back. You know what I mean? I get my money's worth. But anyway, okay, so I haven't had too much reaction yet, so to the MGTOW thing. You know, I slung a little mud in the title to make it a little bit clickbaity, just to get eyes on it. But my goal with this series is to, because I don't, like, because what'll happen is when it does catch on and all the MGTOW guys start, you know, fighting back or whatever, and, you know, they're going to, like, there's not an argument from the MGTOW that I haven't heard yet. And, like I say, there's a lot of stuff I agree with them on, but their conclusions are wrong. Observations are great, but their conclusions are wrong. And so we have to strike the balance, you know, for a young lad nowadays, where, like I say, my generation, Gen Xers, it was easy to meet women. It was, you know, like, in hindsight, like, you know, back when you're like in your 20s or whatever, you're like, oh man, where are all the women at? You know, like, you know, as you ask your 12 girlfriends just sitting there on the bench, like, I don't know. You know, yeah, I'm going to be completely antisocial with my group of 40 people over here. That was Gen X in a nutshell. Like, we were very, very sociable, which, obviously social media has had its real kick in the ass to society of, you know, you know, like, women, like, you'll hear, I'll see video after video. I don't know where they find these videos, because I try to find videos like this, but like female content creators, like, really, like on these kind of subjects, you usually don't see. That's why you got to gear it towards men, because women just don't seem to be, you know, either we're just not lining up, we're taking different, you know, we're on different off ramps here. But I never see women hardly at all talking about the manosphere stuff at all. You know, like, you'd think they'd be, oh wow, here's something cool to talk about, right? Not to say the obsessed, but, you know, it's like, oh yeah, well, I want to contribute. And you got the odd girl, but, like, it's really not that many. And I think the majority of content creators are male. I think it's just a personality trait of outgoingness, of not antisocial versus you know, outgoing or whatever. But it's just men are less likely to care what the internet thinks, right? Not all. There's guys there that, you know, they freak out about every negative comment they get, whatever. Can you, you know? And then there's guys that, you know, that, like, if you don't react to their comment the way you want. They want, like, they get twice as upset. They'll do like a 3-hour live stream of how you're wrong about one point, and it's like, I'm like, dude, yeah, I challenge you to, you know, like, you know, rebuttal. You know, it's like, I'm not going to spend 3 hours watching your video, dude. It's just not going to happen. I'm a working man. I don't have time. You know, I will watch the odd thing if it's really deep intellectual conversation. I will watch it, but usually the MGTOW stuff, it does run in circles. Again, it is a bit of a cult now. The same thing happened to feminism. You know, like, it started as a cult, masquerading as women's rights, but it was a cult right from the beginning. The cult of Lilith, right? It's when you look at the old cult, there's some really cool stuff there to look at what humans have done. In the sense of, like, how bizarre our belief systems can get. And we're in a world now where, like, people don't realize there's a whole bunch of new religions because they think religion can only be Abrahamic faiths or Buddhists or whatever, you know. Like, they think that's the only religions. They don't realize that that's not it at all. People are deeply religious, and we've just substituted Christianity in the West for wokeism. You know what I mean? It's the same, like the people that are running around screaming in woke tongues now were the same people burning people at the stake, 400 or 500 years ago. Same personalities. These are mentally ill people. Very left-hand path. And I think it's just a part of humanity, right? Like nihilistic people are, I think, is nature's way, what I call the suicide gene, where people are just like, everything's a death cult to them. You know what I mean? Like, it just gets to the point where no matter what the subject is, the sign is always nigh. And I'm not talking like preppers and stuff like that. Well, I'm talking people that, like, it's just, they have to destroy and deconstruct and tear down everything in their lives and everybody around them. You know what I mean? For the greater good. It's always in the name of the greater good. But when you really analyze it, it's just nihilism to the abyss, right? Strip this layer away to find the deeper meaning, this layer away to find the deeper meaning, this layer, this layer, this layer, until you're left with nothing, right? But, and that is a really good critique of the left. It's always about stripping things away, with no accountability. Left-hand path, right? And you can look at it in a sense that, okay, there's a lot of bad behavior out there. And because it's so easy to survive now, like even in the third world, like the third world is growing in population in a lot of places. Places that have not the best running water, not the best food, they usually don't have 3 meals a day, whatever, not the best employment, not the best, and yet the populations are growing. You know what I mean? So environmental capacity says that at some point things are going to bust. I'm not a believer at all that there's too many humans on the planet at all. The science doesn't say that. The science doesn't even, Elon Musk even was as bold to say that, not that I trust Elon Musk, but, that we're actually underpopulated. He goes, like, if you were to take all 8 billion people and put them in Manhattan, they'd all fit on the first floor. The first floor of all the buildings. Probably fill up every building. But, like, they let that part sink in, and then there's the rest of the planet. And he made the same observation I did. Now, this guy probably flies in airplanes much more than I do. And if you ever think the world's overpopulated, fly from Ottawa to Winnipeg. Just look down for the next 3-4 hours. How many houses do you see? It's just all trees. It's just all boreal forest and Great Lakes as far as the eye can see. Like, it doesn't get any more beautiful than that. So no, we're not overpopulated, not even by, areas are overpopulated, yes, and whatever. And resources aren't, people aren't producing properly, stuff like that. But anyway, another topic for another time. But the big one is, okay, I'd like to finish up maybe on this video or the next video with this whole MGTOW thing. If you're a young lad, why you shouldn't just be listening to them. The manosphere in general, like the red pill community, I include them with the MGTOWs, and the incels, I include them with the MGTOWs. They're all on the left-hand path side of things, even though they will promote themselves as, right-wing or whatever. They're not really. You can't be right-wing and anti-natalist. It does not work. Right-wing, or right-hand path, I should say, not necessarily right-wing. Right-hand path, you can be a total leftist and be a right-hand path person. The thing is that you have to have the survival instinct, not only for you, but for your your kinship, your community, etc., etc. So in other words, promoting antinatalism is nihilism. It basically does not contribute to the future generation, right? And without that, that's it. Now, are we going to see a massive depopulating in the world from low birth rates? Yes, but there's going to be a baby boom maybe within the next 10 to 20 years anyway. Trust me, it's going to happen. You just got to kind of think about how the pendulum is swinging right now. And you young lad or young gal are on that pendulum. Guys like me, I'm older. I'm in my 50s. Hey, just like the news I got this morning, hey, I could just drop dead tomorrow. I was talking to the guy yesterday morning, and he was fine. You know what I mean? And that could be me. I could be dead tomorrow morning. I could be dead in 5 minutes from now. You just don't know. We'll keep talking about this pendulum.